This is the hardest ranking I will ever have to do, but I'm gonna rank the entire Massiverse in order of favorite to least favorite. Make that least favorite to favorite, because obviously the top slide is gonna be at the end. Like, that's the juicy bit. I'm looking at them all in front of me and I'm like, what have I done to myself? I'm not gonna do a ton of yapping because I have a 10-minute limit and I got 16 books in front of me. Now this is actually an easy beginning. Bottom slot is Tower of Dawn. It was too long, character development was great. Yes, we deserved more from Nezrin. Next, Assassin's Blade. I do love the Assassin's Blade, but we just get more from other books. Next, this is actually a very sad one for me. Crescent City, House of Flame and Shadows. It was just rushed. There's so many great moments, but overall, it was just rushed, and that really made me sad. Next, Court of Wings and Ruin. I loved Court of Wings and Ruin, but plot holes mean that it's just gonna be lower on the list, and that's not my fault. A Court of Frost and Starlight. Now listen, I love A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is a hug that was so necessary. Lore that is so necessary. Can't wait to see where it takes us. But in terms of the entire Massiverse, more happens elsewhere. As a starter book, this was slow. Up until about the 70% mark, this was slow. Upon a reread, do I love it so much more? Yes. Do I still think that it is a slow beginning? Yeah. But I also think that as an intro book for a series, the setup and the ground that is laid is just phenomenal. I encourage people to reread this because you will appreciate it so much more. You might not appreciate He Who Must Not Be Named so much more, but like the work that is done to set up this series, like you will appreciate it so well done. Back to Throne of Glass with Throne of Glass. Now, you'll notice that I have a beginning of a series and a beginning of a series back to back. I do think that in terms of world building, both of these are great. Foundation is great. This I just find a more engaging read than A Court of Thorns and Roses. Next, and this does hurt to do, Crescent City, House of Sky and Breath. Yes, the cliffhanger at the end of this was the greatest cliffhanger that I have ever read, ever. Nothing will compete. I do absolutely trust Sarah J. Maas with her ability to redeem characters. She starts characters out really low so that way she can redeem them and build them up. Okay, we see her do that. We have faith. We know she can do it. Ethan and Therion are the worst. Like, if I wanted to engage with shitty men, I could just go on the internet. I don't need to read a 800+ page book about it. And the risk that is run with the multi-POV is it does take away from moments that we do actually want to see. Like, yes, I absolutely believe that Ethan and Therion are important and where their stories are going to go are totally important, but I needed more from Bryce and Hunt. I wanted to see more of them. Things happen off page that I think should have happened on page, and I think that those were sacrificed because of these shitty men. Next, Crown of Midnight. As a second book, so well done. The expansion of the world building, the transition in Selena's motivation, the hope that we get that is then immediately ripped away from us. This is a great follow-up to a first book in the series. It is a great second on its own. It's a great setup for the third, and I feel like all of those things to hit as an author are really hard in a series. I think this does them all so well. This is a super hard ranking. Next for me is Heir of Fire. I love Heir of Fire. I love a good character development. I love a character taking their pain and owning it and growing from it. Incredible. And I don't even care that it's slow. And I don't even care that we get literally nothing from Rowan in this because Selena gives us everything. This is really hard. Okay. Next, A Court of Silver Flames. This is farther up in the ranking for me because I love Nesta. I love how she is written, and I know that a lot of people don't love her, but I love her because I see aspects of myself in her that, like, as people, there's a lot of ugly inside of us. There's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of hope, but the pain can come out in such an ugly way, and that's just the reality of being human sometimes. And I feel like she was written honestly, and I think that is such a beautiful thing to read as a reader, especially when like we need complex female characters. It was a bit too long though. Now I know after that point is where like the majority of the disagreements will start, but next for me is Empire of Storms. I love the action of this book. I think it is absolutely incredible, so engaging. For a book as thick as this is, I feel like you can fly through it because it is so full. There is never a dull moment. Damn it. My fourth favorite Sarah J. Maas book is Kingdom of Ash. And these 4 slots, I think if you ask me in a month, they'd be different. I think if you ask me in a month from that, they'd be different, but I don't have a single complaint about this book. I think it is so incredible. I have so much respect for the writing skill and the planning and the understanding of one's characters and the development it took up to this point to be able to write this book. I think it is a feat that we should not underestimate. But that being said, I just like other ones more. I do think about this every single day though. Next for me is Queen of Shadows. The reason that this is in my third slot and not my second or first, despite the fact that I do think this is a perfect book, I think it is perfectly executed in every single way. Despite all of that, there is an emotion that I get more throughout my second and first books than through this one. I'm not saying this one does not make me emotional. Oh my God, this made me angry. This made me rageful at a certain point. If you know, you know. Rageful. And the ending, oh, incredible. But my second and first just made me feel other things or things differently or more intensely. Look at this tower. And this is so hard, but in my second slot is A Court of Mist and Fury. This book, and I know so many people say it, I don't care. I know I've said it a million times, I'll keep saying it. This book made me feel higher than anything has ever made me feel in my life. And I will forever be chasing that high through reading because of this book. My addiction to reading came from this. Not my love, not my obsession, my addiction, my inability to stop chasing the high that this book made me feel. Like the fact that that is possible is insane. Okay, so that means we only have left number one. And my favorite Sarah J. Maas book of all time is Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. Like I said, this is all vibe space. It's a combination of things. But Bryce to me is like my soul character. Out of all of the characters I've read in like all books, not just Sarah J. Maas books, not just fantasy, not just romance, all books, Bryce is the character that I feel the most connected to, that I feel the most inspired by. And I feel like through this book on its own, the character development that she gets, seeing in her mind her heart, seeing what makes her hurt, seeing what makes her passionate, seeing her fight internally the demons that she's dealing with, also some external demons, but like still be able to feel and find joy throughout all of that, I think is incredible. The Hunt Athalar of this book is my top book boyfriend. I don't put him in that spot always because I think he's a little done dirty in the second and third books, but the heart that we see from him in this book, in the same way, where like what he's faced and him learning to find joy through knowing Bryce, I think is just beautiful. Also, this book made me feel like legit hopelessness at points. I was like, how is this series gonna go on? There's no way this is going to end well. This is my ranking. Tower of Dawn, Assassin's Blade, House of Flame and Shadow, Court of Wings and Ruin, Court of Frost and Starlight, Court of Thorns and Roses, Throne of Glass, House of Sky and Breath, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Court of Silver Flames, Empire of Storms, Kingdom of Ash, Queen of Shadows, Court of Mist and Fury, House of Earth and Blood. I know we all experience this universe differently, and I love that, but I want to know how other people experience it as well.